Alright. Hello, everyone. It's over here. More FGO. Again, these aren't necessarily going to be daily. Like this type of video isn't going to be a daily thing. I'm just playing this right now. Because I want to get my shit back. Or at least get as far as I can and towards where I was. Yeah, I'm still genuinely upset. It's still running a little bit slower than I'd like. It did crash earlier. On my last video, it did crash. When I was leveling up a servant. I was leveling up Nitocris, and it crashed. I feel like I have some settings for my thing a little bit wrong, probably. Is maybe why it's running slow? The only thing I will be doing like the story on videos for this. 100%. I'm gonna be doing the story on video because if I'm gonna have to put up with it again, you are. And I mean, it's not a bad story, to be honest. The story isn't bad. It starts out slow. Not very, you know. The story starts out kind of slow, but it gets very good. It gets very good, and it's a very emotional tale. If you can get past the fucking fate lingo that they use in the very beginning of the game. So there are some things that the story doesn't clear up until way later. And again, it does kind of like retcon some things, as you saw in the last video, if you watched it. Even in the very tutorial, you get slapped by Olga Marie for falling asleep. However, not even like a mission or two later, you realize that it runs that back and acts like she doesn't slap you awake. So it's like, it's a bit confusing on that. And again, some of the earlier translations I feel are a bit bad. Because some of the language doesn't make quite as much sense as it should. Like, it's not properly written out a lot of times. And it does get better later on that. I know for this specifically, like for mobile games, you're supposed to say you're not using an emulator. But like, honestly, for a mobile game, doesn't make sense why you shouldn't be able to use like an emulator, because I don't have a phone anymore. You know? My phone is broken. And it's not like this is any different, really. Like, what... Maybe on certain games, like... What is it? What's it called? Fucking... What are, some of those like battle royale games, like Fortnite and stuff, if you were to play it on that, you are gonna get a lot worse performance, probably, than just playing fucking Fortnite on the PC. Don't know why you would emulate it to play it, but it's one of those things where it's like restricting an emulator on this on a mobile game is a bit weird. Because why would you restrict somebody from playing with an emulator on this? Just honestly. I don't feel there's a reason to do that. Because it's not like you can really cheat like that. And if you can, I don't know how. To be honest, like, how the fuck are you gonna cheat in a gacha game like this? Just honestly. And that's like the only thing that I could see people complaining about is like if you have some type of unfair advantage, but how would you get an unfair advantage playing on a PC? I had the same thing with what is it called? I've played it before a lot on the stream, or not on stream, but on the channel. What's it called? Fucking I love the game. Rogue with the Dead. Rogue with the Dead is a good game. It's a great game. I love how it plays. It's very idle-esque. Well, not idle, so much as it's not like an idle game like that. I would say it's much closer to like just your very stereotypical mobile game. Okay, cool. Which one is it? It's this one. Thanks for the tutorial. Yeah, that's the one that's actually decent for MASH. And what do these do? Increase your max HP per turn. I'll just equip that for now, because why not? I mean, I am kind of gonna be high level for this. Just honestly. Hold on, wait. Before I do that, I have summon tickets. I have like 10 summon tickets. Oh, more than 10. I have like 12. Do I want to spawn on anything? Maybe we could try to get Richard the First, I guess? I don't know what he's like. Andromeda is new. Suzuka, Gozen, Semiramis, Bhima, Durga. You know, Saber Medusa. I'm not going to be able to get to Ordeal Call again before. Nowhere near going to be able to. What is... Oh, that's a new button, I think. Summon info. What is Richard? Richard the First. What is he? Is he like a saber? A ruler? He's from Fate, Strange Fake, I believe. Or he was released for that. He's a saber. And I mean, I also have a chance of getting anybody else out of this. I would definitely want like the Lancelots probably. And Vlad. Vlad is cool. Vlad 3 extra. He's pretty sick. I know for a fact I'm not gonna see what's his name? I'm not gonna see my boy here, Mori Nagayoshi. But one could dream, right? Again, it's a bit stupid to have some of the 3 stars being like time limited, and then not to bring them back nearly as often as you do. We'll pull 10 times, I suppose. We'll do a 10 pull, I guess. I'm one of those people who I don't save up a lot of shit for like just one summon. Even though that's the recommended, is to save up for like a single summon. I don't typically do that. Now, if I could save up for Bizette, I might. Because, again, she's like... I would have thought she'd come out for Valentine's this year, but it doesn't seem like she does. I'm pretty sure she's not coming out for Valentine's. Because it doesn't look like she is. At all. And that's a shame, because she's also a time-limited servant. She was released for a Valentine's event. I guess we'll save for now. We'll just save it for now. And, we'll save up. We're going to be trying to get through as much of the, Singularity F story as we can. You know what they are. I do have some basic knowledge. Glad to hear it. Now I won't have to explain rudimentary things like what a heroic spirit is. Servants are heroes of the past, made into familiars. Those who enter contract with them and use them are masters. There's 7 classes of servants, which vary depending on a servant's legends and abilities. Oh, fuck! I forgot! I had so many good servants! I had one of the only fucking... or currently the only beast class servant in A. It's incredibly difficult to copy a heroic spirit entirely. Human mages do not have enough resources or memory to achieve such a feat. That's why only one aspect of a heroic spirit is fixed in our world, resulting in the 7 classes. Saber, Lancer, Archer, Rider, Caster, Berserker, and Assassin. There's more than that! Those are just the 7 knight classes. Every heroic spirit will manifest as one of these classes. That's the true nature of servants. It's also a way to hide their true names as well. They hide their names because they're famous. Take Achilles from Greek mythology. Achilles is an invincible heroic spirit, but his weakness is extremely famous, right? When heroic spirit returns, their weakness returns with them. That's why servants hide their names behind their class names. If you don't know their identity, it's harder to figure out their past or weaknesses, right? That's not all. There's another reason for hiding one's true name. A servant has a secret weapon worthy of their legend, the crystallization of that heroic spirit's miracle and existence. That's called a noble phantasm. Director, sorry to interrupt you while you're having fun, but we've detected hostiles. What? Take them out right now? Okay. I'm not going to be reading every fucking bit of it, probably, but I guess I'll try. You can't actually do a lot of event stuff until after you've beaten Singularity F. And you also don't get the free 5-star until you do as well. She's definitely going to kill the first one. Yeah. Okay, I didn't even have to worry. Again, I'm a bit over leveled right now for this. I did over level myself, but I mean, Nash isn't made for attack, so that makes it in this sense. It doesn't matter. Just die. Okay. We're going to be trying to get through as much of the story as possible. There's a master level up. I did 15. There's 15 missions that I did. What? Well, it's a lot more than 15 missions, but, you know. Limited time. I got another exchange ticket? Oh, maybe for doing a daily thing? Oh, I guess that counts. I guess this counts. So I can probably get these. I wasn't expecting to be able to actually get those, the limited time missions done. Why is it so laggy all of a sudden? It's like very slow right now. Okay, let's continue. Thank you, Olga. I can feel the tension across the screen. The director is grumpy as usual. She's not just grumpy, she's a total crank. Well, I can feel some sympathy for the director's ill temper. Excuse me, but Silver Senpai, there's too much about Chaldea you don't know. Well, I admit I came here clueless. I really don't know what to do with you. It's like you're a lost little kitty. Well, not that I'm any different. It's been about 2 years since I started here, and I still don't get it. I kind of sneaked in, almost like an alligator. Phew, alligators have no clue. Yes. I've learned as much as I can from the database, but I'll share it with you. Chaldea's security organization, or more accurately, the Security Organization for the Preservation of Humanity, Venus Chaldea. A research observatory with the purpose of continuing and strengthening human history with researchers, scholars, and mages from all around the world. They watch a world that magecraft couldn't observe and science couldn't measure. We're a special organization with national support created to prevent humanity from reaching a bad end. Yeah, I figured. Anyway, that's pretty much it. The blush on that one. It's true that Chaldea receives financial support from across the globe, but the majority of that comes from the Mages Association in London. From the Enemisphere family. Oh, excuse me. Director Olga Marie's family. Don't mind that it's a little laggy at times. Chaldea is a research organization, but due to its importance, it operates on a military level. There are extremely strict rules and punishments for everything, so the director's attitude is actually reserved. The director isn't a villain, but she is evil. She'll get rid of any staff members she doesn't like. Well, I'm not sure if it's okay to call someone who's got a bad attitude evil. Sorry, I wanted to give you some encouragement, but I'm not used to cheery words. I'm not gonna voice cut foe. What? Hey, what are you guys doing? Behind you, the enemies found us. Prepare for battle. They're so close. Senpai, give me your orders. Okay, cool. Stuff that's not story-based, I will likely do off of video. Again, I said that already. But I want it to be clear that if I want to something, not necessarily always going to have that on video. I might have farming videos, but I'm not always gonna do that. Excuse me. I'm glad to get the little Nitocris here. I love her, by the way. Nitocris is like a cool servant to me. I really like her. I mean, cool is not the right word. She's very cute. She's a very adorable servant. And people might say, okay, so let's clear this up. I gotta 100% clear this up before anybody gets the wrong idea. Characters like Nitocris, because some people, on Twitter specifically, Twitter is very bad about this, some people would probably see Nitocris as like a lolly type. She's just a petite woman. Women have that body style. Women can be smaller than, like, that. Like, women can be small. There's nothing wrong with that. Nitocris is 100% a grown woman. She's not like a child. There's a body type called petite for a reason. Now, Jack the Ripper, on the other hand, is not. She is a child. We'll see her later in the story. And a lot of people know that, like, Jack the Ripper is a child. She calls you mommy, regardless of your gender, by the way. Because she sees you as her mom. She sees you as somebody who could be her mom. Even if Romani is monitoring us, this is singularity, there's no telling what might happen. Come here, Kitty Light. You're hurt, aren't you? I could heal something like that. Oh, right. Thank you very much, Director Olga Marie. Really now, when the director is calm, she could be dependable. Silver, you should know, the director is in a complicated position as well. Initially, Marie was like you all, a master candidate. 3 years ago, the previous director, her father, passed away, and she had to take over Chaldea when she was just a student. Since then, it's been one tense day after another. She had to take over as head of the Animusphere family. It was all she could do to keep Chaldea running. Around this time, an anomaly was found in Chaldeus. We could no longer see into the promised future of 100 years from now. There's huge criticism from the association and our sponsors. She was ordered to get the situation back to normal as soon as possible. To make matters worse, they found that she had no aptitude to be a master. The noble Animusphere family, one of the 12 lords that dominated faculty of astronomy at the Mage Association. Oh, the scandal that would occur if the head of such a family was found to be unfit to become a master. You can imagine the level of gossip happening behind the scenes. I'm sure those rumors reached Marie, too. She still worked to be her absolute best as director. This last half year, she's just barely been hanging on. She's worked herself so hard. I'd like her to come for counseling, but with how things are... In any event, she's been emotionally stretched to the limit. She doesn't hate you or anything like that. I know Director Marie isn't an evil person. I'm glad you think so. But you know, she is evil, right? She isn't cruel, nefarious, and dishonest. That I can promise you. She's just a rather serious person. Anyhow, you're the only three I could trust right now. I want you to continue investigating without fighting. We'll save up for something. I don't know what summons are coming up. Honestly. But we'll save for something, right?
ですね。一歩一歩着実に前進していきましょう。報酬獲得です。
I'm not likely to get all the way through Singularity F by the end of the video, by the way. We'll see if I can. Some of these are pretty long. And with it, like, losing frame rate occasionally. The hostile life form has been removed. Let's move on. I didn't know what would happen with that monster, but I expected nothing less of a servant's body. Such power. Not that it makes him look any less scary. By the way, Director, I have a question for you. The Fuyuki and our data and this Fuyuki are just too different. What happened in this city exactly? What are your thoughts, Director? Let's see, history must have been slightly disrupted. That's the only reason I could think of. Mash, Silver, I'm only going to say this once, so listen up. Chaldea observes the future through an Earth model called Chaldeus. At the same time, a familiar called Laplace compiles past records. You could say it is Laplace's job to gather data on history that wasn't made public and information that was buried in darkness that no one knows. According to Laplace's observations, an unusual Holy Grail War was confirmed in the city in 2004. Holy Grail War? You mean the Holy Grail from the legend? The magical chalice that is the root of all magecraft? The one that is said to grant its holders wishes? Yes, that's the one. Mages in Fuyuki City competed for the Grail, and in order to activate it, it summoned 7 heroic spirits. That was the beginning of the Holy Grail War. Unknown to anyone, servants were summoned to this town. The Fuyuki Holy Grail War system is simple. 7 masters fight each other, the last one standing gets the Grail. Chaldea learned about this in 2010. My father, the previous director, used this data to build the summoning system. That's what makes up Chaldea's heroic spirit summoning system, Fate. Our third invention after Laplace and Chaldea's. Third, isn't that the near future observation lens, Shiva? That was created by Professor Lev. Well, I guess you could say we both worked on it. Anyway, this is where servants come from. 7 servants fought here, and in the end, Saber was victorious. The town wasn't destroyed, and the servants shouldn't have been noticed by anyone, but... now this is happening. We should assume that the outcome changed due to the singularity. The anomaly in 2004 brought about an alteration in human history, and as a result, we're no longer able to see 100 years into the future. That's something that you'll understand about Fate, by the way. Is there are multiple endings to, like, even one series. Like, the Fate Stay Night series has, like, 3 routes that it goes down. 3 possible routes. That's why it's our job to repair this anomaly. Somewhere here is the reason history has been disturbed. Somewhere here? Huh? Okay. Either way. But no, that's the thing with, like, Fate and how it gets kind of convoluted. Is that time isn't linear in this series. Once we analyze it and eliminate it, that will complete our mission. All of us will be able to return to the present. But no, it's 100% time is convoluted here. In Fate, 100%. So this game plays off of that idea, is that time is convoluted, and if something changes, it could alter the fabric of reality, basically. I see, got it. Anyway, although we're not sure what's going on, it's good that the mission is simple. Got these guys again, get rid of the Mash, Silver. I like that Olga Marie just looks so terrified half the time. the fucking dialogue is very heavy in terms of like technical stuff in the very beginning, at least. It's very technically heavy.
指示を
Uh,
着替えます厳しくいくわ不敬者地は天に天は地に
I will explain that certain, for people who don't know Fate lore, servants, like, certain servants have the capability and the capacity to be multiple, classes, but they can only manifest as one class at a time. And that's why you can have multiple versions of the same servant. You can have multiple versions because it's possible that it's a version that was taken from a different time, an alternate timeline, one where certain aspects are stronger. Because, like, Kuchulain, we'll see Kuchulain shortly. He is, like, he's able to be a couple different classes depending on what timeline and what time frame you grab him from. So, you can get, like, servants. Like, servants can spawn as any of the classes depending.
マスターには幸運がついて回ると言いますいえ私が今そのように思ったというかとにかく資源獲得ですマスター
Oh, it tells you how much shit you can get.
先輩
That's cool.
いつからそこに
I like that it tells you now how much you can get, like how much you have left. In terms of like sync quartz and stuff. That feels like a little low. That feels a little low for how much sync quartz is left out of this. To be honest. Hey, 10 Hellfire Wisdoms. I'll take that. But yeah, no, it's... The explanations of this game are very beefy. It takes a book in and of itself to explain the concept of fate. And again, since we're going through the story, I guess this would be a good time to explain for people who don't know kind of like everything about it. Because again, we're going through the story. And I'll try to touch on the topics as we get to each one. Some of this is only specific to FGO. And I believe Fuyuki is a reference to Fate Stay Night, the Fate Stay Night series. I believe that's what this is in reference to. Which, again, has 3 parts. Like, 3 routes that it goes down. Yeah, I almost hit skip again. The battle's over, Master. I'm relieved that we've pulled through again. Good work, Mash. Pat. Yes, I'm happy that I can be useful. Hey, Mash, is it possible that you can't use your noble phantasm? Apparently, I don't even know which heroic spirit fused with me. And I'm unable to use the power of its special arts, the heroic spirit's secret weapon known as a noble phantasm. So, noble phantasm. We'll go over this concept real quick. The best example I can use here is Arturia, or King Arthur. Hers is well known. She screams Excalibur at the top of her lungs and then swings her sword down. That's her noble phantasm. Is swinging with Excalibur. It's extremely powerful because it's kind of like a sword of evil's bane, basically. It's a legendary sword, a legendary weapon. And that's one of her noble phantasms. A heroic spirit can have multiple noble phantasms depending on their history, their lore, their story, their legends. And one of her noble phantasms is Excalibur. And a noble phantasm can manifest as an attack specifically, or an item that they can use, because of the things that Artoria has, which is this game's version of King Arthur, is she has Excalibur, which is of course her main attack, or her legendary attack, her noble phantasm. But one of her other noble phantasms is the sheath of Excalibur, which is known as Avalon, which in the Fate series, and it's also like said in legend that it grants immortality, and they play off of that thought. They play off of the thought that it can give immortality. And in the Fate Stay Night series, or Fate Zero specifically, Avalon is put into a human baby, or well, a homunculus baby, rather. It's built into it, basically. But yeah, no. Noble Phantasm, that's basically what it is. That's what this is explaining, is that a Noble Phantasm is tied directly to the hero, the heroic spirit, and is special. It's their, like, ultimate weapon, their ultimate moves. Parts of their legend manifested in reality. Servants are equipped with a unique skill called a Noble Phantasm. It's derived from each hero's legend and great deeds, and is a secret weapon. Exactly as I'm explaining here. However, I'm unable to wield my Noble Phantasm. I could somehow use it as a weapon, but its output is decreased. I can't even release its true name. In fact, I don't even know what the origins of this weapon of mine might be. We'll find that out later. In any case, you can think of me as a failed servant, or maybe just a capable Kohai that can get even stronger. I don't have any leads on the heroic spirit that feeds with me, but with you, my master, I'll figure it out as I grow. That's true, masters have the ability to analyze their servants' parameters, skills, and matrices. Silver, as a master, once you become good enough, you should be able to analyze Mash's servant data. Any servants you make a contract with from this point should be the same. First, you need to learn their true name and Noble Phantasm. As your trust with them grows, your servant's power will grow too. That's also something that can tip you off on who... Because servants typically use their class name, like Saber. What she's called, Artoria, is called Saber in the Fate Stay Night series, because she's using that as her guise, even though we know it's King Arthur. And she uses magic. She uses magic to make her sword invisible because it's too noticeable. Because if she were to reveal it, it would be obvious that she's King Arthur. Because who else uses Excalibur but King Arthur? Well, it's not like you have that much potential in you. The fact that you can't use MASH that well shows that. Once we get Chaldea's race shift capability back online, we're going to shift to first-class master here. Then you're fired. Newbies with no combat experience can spend their time terrified in some corner in Chaldea. Weren't you the one scared, Director Maria? I wasn't. Not in the least. You should be respectful to your elders. Anyway, I'm glad you two understand each other better now. Let's move before any more of them show up. Still funny. I do feel genuinely like Olga Marie is a bit of a tragic character in this. We'll see why I feel that way. You'll see why I feel like she's tragic. We'll get there in time, genuinely. It is actually really sad, like how tragic of a character she is. It's not like super sad. It's a bit upsetting, but you know, we'll see. Everything's burned down as far as the eye can see. There aren't any traces of residents either. What happened here? What could even turn Chaldea gray in the first place? If we can't see the future, that means humanity will vanish. There are things that I'm not gonna explain because they will be explained later. Now, the counterforce. Could that mean that the counterforce doesn't work in a singularity? Then this place is like a bolt. I cannot remember what a bolt is, but I do know the counterforce. The counterforce is the Earth's way of balancing out like a Holy Grail war, an anomaly in the world. If there's an anomaly, the counterforce steps in and can summon heroes, like heroic spirits, to balance it. And certain servants are connected to the counterforce directly, but we'll get to that. A good example of somebody connected directly to the counterforce is Archer from Fate Stay Night, or Shiro Emiya, because they are one and the same. Even though Shiro is also like the main character of Fate Stay Night, and Archer is Rin's servant. It's because the Throne of Heroes can summon somebody from any point in time, past, present, or future. That's why time is also convoluted. So yeah, no, that's the counterforce. It's just like the Earth's will to balance incorrections and balance things. The fatal choice of destruction is guided throughout human history. When their choices become mistakes, this is what happens. It looks like the director is talking to herself again. This could take a while. Hey, Silver, looks like it's safe over there. Why don't you rest for a bit? I agree with you, Dr. Senpai. Would you like some rations? Sure. How are you, Mash? Tired? Are you asking if I've been having any problems since I became a servant? Well, for the most part, it's scary to fight, but I'm doing fine otherwise. Are you okay with me being your master? Of course. I think you might have been the best master this summer. That's enough rust! We got it coming! Master, your commands, please. We just met, by the way. We just met Nash. And, again, that term, or those words, will come back later. It's hit so much harder, by the way. That you're the best master she's seen this summer. it's very much like something that will come back later in the story, and you'll understand why. That's like really fucked up. This game is dark, by the way. If you couldn't tell already, the game is dark. We'll use her Noble Phantasm. Fuck it. Oh, I forgot it's single target! Damn it, I forgot that's a single target. I thought it was an all target, man. I was wanting to clear this out in one turn. If I would have put that on the middle, it likely would have cleared out everybody. Not that it was difficult. At the very start, you get a lot of AP, by the way, to continue going through the story. Later on, you get a lot less. Like, you'll run out eventually. But in the very beginning, it's very hard to run out of stuff. Those things I'm collecting are used for, like, leveling up and upgrading your servants. I could technically get another Sync Quartz right now with Sync Quartz fragments, but we'll save it for now. Wow, this Otis person has a lot of decent, like, a lot of good servants, actually. Not even decent, they're good. I keep almost hitting skip. Phew. Thank goodness we managed it yet again, Master. I see you're getting used to being a servant. Is it because now that you know what we're up against, you're not afraid anymore? I don't know about that. No matter how good I am with my weapon, when it comes to the battle itself... Sorry, let's talk later. The three of you need to get out of there now. I'm still picking up something, and this is... It's a servant. What is that? A servant is there. Don't fight it. Silver, Mash, it's too soon for you to fight a servant. Even so, we can't escape. Mash, prepare for battle. It's a servant. You could do something about it, right? Yes, I'll do my best. So, servant battles are slightly different. Well, not really. They're the same, but they just have a bit more health. Typically considered like boss type fights. But in a Holy Grail war, servants typically just kill each other. Technically, the rules are you could kill the master or the servant. Like, if somebody doesn't have their servant, is this a damaging NP? Yeah. It is a damage NP. But in a Holy Grail war, servants or masters are charged with fighting each other, and you can typically get rid of a master and servant in any way you please. And that means whether you want to kill the master or kill the servant under a master. Because if the master doesn't have a servant, they are no longer able to participate in the Holy Grail War unless they can find another servant. Because you can also convince servants to swap masters. You can convince a servant to be yours, basically. You also have command seals. Those are basically like saying, in this game, they don't function like they do in the Fate series. But in the Fate series, a command seal is your protection against your servant, because your servant can also kill you if they want to. They could kill you. Just straight up, they could. It's their choice what to do with you. But that command seal, you get 3, typically, is the rule. And you're able to command your servant to do anything, even kill itself if you wanted to, with those command seals. Which is typically why servant or masters always save 1 for the end of the Holy Grail War so they can get rid of their servant. But there are plot things. That's your explanation of what a command seal is. Okay, we won. I was sure I didn't stand a chance, but we actually won. Sorry, there's no time to rest, Mash. A similar signal as before is heading that way. I don't have to tell you what you need to do, right? What? Same signal? No way. Silver, retreat. Hurry up. We've got to get out of here now. That was Ryder. Or you could say Medusa, because that's who she is. Or, yeah, I believe it's Medusa. I will say, this is a bit more stable than BlueStacks was. I'm using Mumu. By the way. For people who didn't know, I am using Mumu. And it's a bit more stable than BlueStacks was, genuinely. We'll get to what a free quest is. Well, a free quest is just like, oh, you've beaten a story, you want extra stuff, do the free quest. You know, you can do those infinite numbers of times, but once you beat it, you can get extra sync quartz for beating it. Again. But it's slightly different. It's not going to have story to it. Okay. Oh, for God's sake, what is happening? Why are servants here? I see a Holy Grail War. A Holy Grail War was going on in that town. Normally it would be a battle royale amongst the 7 servants summoned for Yuki, but something's gone terribly wrong. I'm not surprised there's a servant without a master. It's natural for servants to target other servants. And as long as I'm here, we'll be targeted by other servants? But Mash has nothing to do with the Grail. That's just a wandering phantom gone mad. I found it. New prey, the Grail shall be mine. Okay, well, let me explain again. Let me explain some things here. So, there's a problem if a servant does not have a master. A servant relies, to be able to manifest in the physical world, a servant has to rely on the mana of a master. And if they do not have it, then they will die. They have a limited time frame of life if they do not have a master. Those singularities work a little bit differently. They're irregular, so there's a bit of difference here. Servant signal confirmed, it's an assassin class servant. I can fight, Senpai, please give me your orders. Alright, I'll have us win no matter what. Okay, I'll bring you victory, Master. Again, I'm hoping we can get through this, but it's not very likely that we'll get through the entire Singularity F in a video. I want to, but it'll be a long video. Try. Morgan, Lady of the Water. That's gotta be a newer servant, right? That's not somebody I've seen, I don't think. Oh, it's just... it... Huh. She's a bit different. I don't know if I've seen that servant before, actually. I've not seen a Morgan. Oh, excuse me. Alright, how about that? This is a waste of time. I could have handled this on my own. Mash, fall back. So they've caught up. There's one more. That's their main force. No way, we're losing to one already, and now there's one more on the way? Let's finish this, Lancer. I don't know what kind of heroic spirit that is, but I will have her head. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Director Mash, hang in there. You gotta keep moving. Damn it, they both let fear get to them. Give your orders, Silver. You're the only one, the only calm one now. You've gotta run for now. Ugh. This is fun, I wanna kill, yes, run. Who are you? What do you mean, can't you tell? Don't tell me the mud got in your eyes, too. But this will be a good example of a heroic spirit who can manifest as multiple different classes. Kuchulain, for example. He has the ability to manifest. Normally he's a Lancer. In Fate Stay Night, he was Lancer. That's what everybody knows him as. However, he has the capabilities of being other classes, such as a caster. He has the capability to be a caster. And because of that, you can manifest him in multiple ways. You can manifest him as a Lancer or a caster. This version is a caster. I believe it's his later life. Is when he was summoned here. Curse you, caster, why are you siding with a wanderer? Huh? Because it's better than siding with you guys, and hey, I don't mind brats with some potential. Young lady, be ready for a fight. Don't worry, you're good. You can turn this around if you just pay attention. Right, I'll do my best. Hey boy, are you her master? Then I'm leaving the orders to you. I'm a caster class servant. They don't really like me right now. Not like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but for now you can trust me. In honor of the brave young lady there, I'll form a temporary contract with you and fight as your servant. That's also a thing. You form a contract, that's where the command seals come from. Is when you form a contract with a servant, your command seals appear. And you're not normally... It's possible to have a contract with multiple servants, but it requires more mana, because using like a Noble Phantasm requires you to spend mana of the master. FGO works a little bit differently. It's either that or like the lore of how much mana Ritsuka has, which is the main character. It would have to be that he has an insane amount of mana. He or she in the case of like Gudako. But yeah, no. It would have to be that the master of like Chaldea, the main character of FGO, has like a near infinite supply of mana to be able to form contracts with so many servants. and keep it up. Because after you've summoned servants, technically, in Chaldea, they're all permanently summoned, basically. They just exist within Chaldea. So when you have your, like, servants around, you can imagine that all of those are just, like, walking around Chaldea. Ugh, curse you with the Holy Grail before my eyes. Something did happen in this, apparently, where, like, the servants are going, like, insane, basically. Or they're shadows of the servants. Excuse me, thank you very much for saving us from danger. Hey, good work. You don't know me for this, so don't worry about it. You should be more worried about your body. That damn assassin kept targeting your butt like a pest. Oh. Hey, you look fragile, but you have a pretty nice body. Icing on the cake. Excuse me. Excuse me, Cass. Excuse me, Cooch Elaine. I have no idea what class you are, but you're pretty sturdy. Maybe saber? No, you don't have a sword. Hey, Silver, what did you think of that? Without a doubt, he's an old pervert. For now, let's get some information. He seems to be a decent heroic spirit. Oh, so someone who wants to cut to the chase. What is this, some means of communication through magecraft? Well met, caster servant. I don't know which heroic spirit you are, but we have nothing but respect and awe for you. No, spare me your remarks. I'm sick of hearing them. State your business, weakling. Isn't that what you're good at? Damn. I see. Alright then. Weakling. Got called a weakling from someone I've met for the first time. How many more of these do I have? There's a lot. You have to do it 14 times. And then it's Lost Belt and stuff. I can't do those. I'm not going to be able to get to these. But everything else I can get to. The pre-release for Ordeal Call I could do. Weekly missions give you St. Quartz fragments, which I believe it's 7 can turn into a fragment. Yeah, 7 can turn into a fragment, or a full St. Quartz. And for story missions, every story mission gives you 1 St. Quartz fragment. So that's every tick of it, so every arrow on a single mission will give you a St. Quartz fragment for beating it. And that's story missions only. The main story. And that's the current situation in Chaldea. Currently, Silver's the acting master in the middle of conducting field research. Let me confirm something. You're a servant for the Holy Grail War that broke out in the city and the sole survivor? If by that you mean I haven't lost, our Holy Grail War changed to something else entirely along the way. I don't know how it happened either. The city was engulfed in flames and the humans vanished. Only the servants remained. Saber was the first to resume the Holy Grail War. That chap began rampaging like a tiger released from a cage. Archer, Lancer, Rider, Berserker, and Assassin were all defeated by Saber. The survival of the 7 servants, that rule of the Holy Grail War was broken here. And in the end, you won, Caster? Or rather, you're the servant who survived. Yes, any servant that was defeated by Saber became like those 2, corrupted by the black mud. They and the monsters that sprung up like maggots started looking for something together. The troublesome part is that I'm one of the things they're looking for. You see, the Holy Grail War won't end until I'm killed. You and Saber are the only surviving servants. Then if you defeat Saber... Yes, that would probably end the Holy Grail War here. but I don't know whether things would return to normal. I see. You helped us, but in the end it was for your own sake, huh? You wanted to defeat Saber, but don't stand a chance doing it alone. That's why you zeroed in on us, right? That's right, but it's not a bad deal, is it? At any rate, it looks like we've got company. Okay. After this mission, there's no end to these guys. I'm telling you, there's nothing better than having allies. I'll probably end this video after this. Just because it seems to be slowing down a bit. And it's probably a long video. I would love to play like Baldur's Gate on a video, but like that's not gonna happen at all. Just honestly, that's not gonna work. Like Baldur's Gate, I can only play it for so long anyways before it starts glitching because my PC gets too hot. It runs pretty well otherwise, but it does start, like, I stop being able to, like, interact with certain objects if I play for too long. I've had that happen before. I've had hard crashes. And I do play modded, by the way. Turning down my graphic settings does nothing to help that, by the way. On, like, Baldur's Gate. I don't know why. You would think turning down the graphic settings would, like, make it perform better, but it doesn't. It just performs until my PC overheats, basically. But, yeah, no. I really do like, FGO, by the way. It's one of my favorite games. But I can't keep playing it, like 100%, just because as you can see, it's a little bit laggy. It clears up at times, but my PC is getting hot, so I'll have to put it on a break. Again, these aren't gonna be, even if it's not gonna be daily. I might even do. I might play it and then take a break and then play it again, make another video, but that won't be uploaded at the same day because I'll just be able to create a backlog of videos, so it's not going to be canonically accurate to what day it's uploaded. Just so that's clear. Things have settled down at least. True, we can't even have a decent conversation like this. My bad. If I'd been summoned as a Lancer, I could have finished off Saber with just one strike. Man, caster's just not for me. I don't like being a caster in a Holy Grail war like this. If you were a Lancer? It's been known to happen, Senpai. Some heroic spirits have the attributes of multiple classes. See? This is where it explains that. He's not just a spear wielder, but a high-level heroic spirit with qualifications to be a mage. I'm only speculating, but he must be one of the top servants, the kind that's featured in the magazine Vivian. Huh. Ah, yes. You said you were masters of an organization known called Chaldea. I guess that's all I need to know. In general, servants tend not to get overly involved in problems outside of their own time period. We ultimately only cooperate as weapons. Your goal is to investigate this anomaly. My goal is to put an end to the Holy Grail War. We share mutual interests, so how about we join forces? That is a rational proposition, but if we do that, who will be your master? Well, that kid there, of course. Doesn't seem like you have the aptitude to be a master. Damn, said it to her face. I mean, you possess high-quality magical circuits, yet you don't have the aptitude to be a master. Is it a curse? Oh, shut up. What do you care? Sober, he's in your hands. Use him wisely. Then it's settled. The contract is only temporary, but I'm counting on you. That leaves one last thing. Your goal. What you're looking for is probably the Greater Grail. Greater Grail? I'm not familiar with that. What is it? This land's true heart. If there is indeed a singularity, it has to be that. But Saber is lingering around the Greater Grail. The remaining servants, she contaminated too. Berserker and Archer, the ones left. What are those two like? Are they strong? Well, Archer can be dealt with if I'm with you. Berserker is the problem. Even Saber had trouble with that monster, but he won't attack unless you get close to him. So ignoring him is one option. We understand the situation now. We'll team up with Mr. Castor to obtain the Greater Grail. Mr. Castor, would you show us the way? Skip the mister, I'll take you there. The kid here will decide when to make our move. Much obliged. Then shall we resume the search? I'm counting on you, Silver. Yeah, thank you, thank you. They're counting on me. Can you believe that? Counting on me.
Master, コマンドカードの強化を行っていますか？特殊な素材が必要になります。優れたマスターには幸運がついてる。
Okay. This will probably be where I call this video for the time being. Just because probably been a good bit. We will catch back up with this. I am going to be trying to finish fucking Fuyuki. After I give my PC a bit of time to cool off, I might come back, start making another video. But it's not going to be released on the same day, again, as I said. But yeah, no. Thank you all so much for watching. These videos, not my Anton videos, but these videos will have a link to my... it's my Honeygain referral link. That is the best way to support me right now. I'm not sponsored. I have to say that. I'm not sponsored. It is just my actual referral link. I'd said it in the description of the last video, but I'll say it here. I've used Honeygain personally for like 4 or 5 years now. And it's just an app that you can download on Android or PCs that uses extra data from your internet. So if you have limited data, I wouldn't use it. Don't do it. But if you have unlimited data on your phone or your internet, you can download it, activate it, and all it does is sit in the background. That's all it does. And you get money for it. It's not a lot of money, to be fair. And only recently, it's a little recently, did I notice that they halved the amount of money you get per megabyte and stuff. But I don't know how to make it a hyperlink. But if you copy and paste the link I have down in the description, you will be able to get $3 starting off. Normally, if you start, you don't get money. You have to start from 0. But you get $3 when you use it. And I, of course, get an extra little bit when you're gaining money through it. I also gain money through it. But it's not taking away from how much you get, is the thing. It doesn't take away from how much you get. It just gives me extra for referring you. And that's the best way to support me right now. That's basically it. But yeah, no. I don't think many people watch this far into the video to see that, but it's again something that would support me, help me continue doing this, and maybe get a new PC. So I can, although I feel like if I get a new PC, every time I have to redo my fucking FGO account, I'm not going to be able to do the fucking transfer code. And that makes me mad. Like, it actually upsets me to no end. Because I don't know why the transfer code doesn't work. I'm still bitching about that. But yeah, no. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to support me, do use that link if you can. If you don't have unlimited internet, don't use it. But it would help me, and it helps you. Every so often, you'll get like $20. You know? You can just pull out $20 because that's the minimum that you can pull out at a time. But you just let it run. Eventually, you'll have $20 that you can pull out. It used to be like every 2 months I would be able to pull out $20. Now it's probably going to be like every 4 months because they halved how much money you get. But yeah, no. It's not like an income, but it's an extra little thing, like if you wanted to treat yourself to something nice, you know? But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.